Sometimes couples are forced by circumstances to live apart due to serious financial considerations. Walang magandang trabaho sa lugar ninyo, maliit ang sweldo, lumalaki ang mga bata at tumataas ang gastusin. And sometimes it seems like the only possible option left is to leave the province and work in the city or even go abroad, and you leave your family behind. And now husbands and wives are placed in a situation where they cannot be together as couples for long periods of time. The marriage is put to the test. Long-distance marriages is a serious test of how strong the marriage is. It is the trial of a couple's fidelity, integrity, virtue, and constancy in their marriage. The temptation is always in the area where you have strong desires or needs and where there is vulnerability. There may be temptations on how the money remitted by the spouse working abroad is used. But the gravest temptation really is in violating the marriage bed. The prolonged separation is unnatural, and the need for intimacy by the husband and the wife remains unsatisfied. Hinahanap natin yung may mayayakap at maglalambing, di ba? Some OFWs have taken it for granted that it is natural to have flings or one-night stands while abroad. Some even go to the extent of living in with another person in another country while pretending to be faithful to his or her spouse. These people have planted the seeds of the destruction of their marriage. Is there a way to prevent this from happening? Is there a means to resist the temptation? Yes, says the Apostle Paul. There is a way to prevent it. In his letter to the Corinthians, he wrote, "No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it." What the Apostle Paul is saying here is that no matter how difficult your situation is, no matter how intense the desires to succumb to temptation, there is always a way to rise above the temptation and remain faithful to the marriage. Yes, it is difficult to be physically apart from your spouse, but if you entrust your relationship to God, you can endure. You can be victorious over temptation, and you can be faithful to your spouse. This takes a lot of work and a lot of commitment on both parties. There must be constant, frequent communication. Now, there are a lot of technologies available to do this, FaceTime, Skype, Google Duo, Messenger, or just plain old phone calls. Kung gugustuhin, maraming paraan para makapag-usap at maging accountable sa isa. And there must be the fear of God on both husband and wife. Each one must have a deep sense of commitment to the marriage. That this is not just a contract signed before men, but vows spoken before God. They must strive to be faithful to their vows in their effort to honor the Lord. Also, find ways to shorten the period of separation. Save up, invest, have an exit plan, and plan to go home for good as soon as you can. You know, your marriage is much more important and more valuable than the money you can ever earn away from your family. As you learn to rise above the temptation and as you strive to preserve your marriage, in spite of the large physical distance between you and your spouse, always keep in mind, faith matters too.